I have travelled across the length and breadth of India, and I have not seen one person who is a beggar, who is a thief. Such wealth I've seen in this country, such high moral values. People of such high caliber that I do not think we would ever conquer this country unless we break the very backbone of this nation, which is her spiritual and cultural heritage, and therefore I propose that we replace her old and ancient education system, her culture. For if the Indians think that all that is foreign and English is good and greater than their own, they will lose their self-esteem, their native culture, and they will become what we want them, a truly dominated nation. Lord Macaulay's address to the British Parliament on 2nd February 1835. So on this note, when you say the imitating of the British, ruling British and the Britishers of India, Lord Macaulay's address, which was all about not just for Muslims, but the general tactic upon which they were supposed to...
You remember Macaulay's?
Yes.
So do I.
Yeah.
Sir Syed was also a product of Macaulay.
Ji, that's what I'm saying. So Sir Syed was subscribing to
Remember Macaulay said, make them lose their self-respect.
This is, with Sir Syed, the page actually kind of turns into this...
Quite right.
The new mindset.
So you and I are products of Sir Syed. And your father and grandfather and my father and grandfather were products of Sir Syed. And in 47, when they come here, that is the mind they bring with them, the mindset they bring with them. Mind you, a feature of the Sir Syed mindset, no responsibility for society.
Was that a very conscious part of him, or do you think it's a byproduct of his...
Byproduct, a logical... part of it.
So,
a logical part of it.
So can I say his story is that of the road to hell is paved with good intentions, or do you think it was...
You can say that.
I'm trying to understand.
No, you're quite right.
But Sir Syed was
that does apply to Sir Syed and to the Muslims, his Muslims. Unfortunately, or logically, necessarily, that is what we brought to Pakistan in 1947. And that is what I saw. So they looked upon this as a land of opportunity, as they were seeking opportunities under the British rule. That is what Sir Syed they taught them, to seek personal opportunities under the British rule. You see, Pakistan was a referendum, not a movement.
Absolutely.
It's not an ideological movement.
That is something we also need to find a lot of. I think that is the part where we're so jumbled and fuzzy about.
No ideology of its own other than a counterpoint to Hindu India, to nationalist India. If you want to understand yourself, then you must understand the British Empire and its rule in India, because we are products of that. We have not yet broken away from that. Take the British, compare the Hindus and the Muslims with the British. England expects every man to do his duty. Their idiom was a different idiom.
For king and country.
For king and country. There was no such idiom here, it was the opposite. That is...
that was the logic that the British had to apply in order to take over this place, and of course the people were willing and completely compliant.
India has been invaded
so many times.
Time and time again. The invaders who came to India came here to belong to India. They came from a backward society, tribal society. This was an agricultural society, a more developed society. So all the invaders who came here, they came here to belong to this place. So they became Indians. But the British did not come here to become Indians. They came here because they had an economic need for their own growing industry. They had a plan which connected directly to the needs and the requirements of British society and British economy. And that was British Empire. That's why the term empire is used. That this is to facilitate the imperial center, which was Britain. We Sir Sayyid Muslims fit into that context. The point is that in 47, Pakistan is a product politically of this process. And once people come to Pakistan, and after 14th August, this is the mindset. There is no change in mindset. Jinnah did not struggle to change the mindset of the Muslim people to take responsibility for creating a new social order.
A new social order.
A new economic order. A new political order.
Excellent. Amazing.
He took the Muslims where Sir Sayyid left off and tried to deliver on that.
Understood.
And that is exactly what the educated class did after 14th August 47.
Wow.
Not
Amazing.
taking responsibility for a new society which they designed, not for a new country, not for a new politics, not for a new economics. Therefore, there was no responsibility other than routine work.
Or what the British had taught.
No responsibility of a national order dimension.
Wow.
Just an administrative dimension. The administration which the British had given them.
So basically, prior to the partition, the people had learnt how to fit into that administration, how to do the job. Now that they've given a new country,
their makeup was made. Their emotional, their intellectual makeup was already made. And that is the mindset which began to operate here from August 47. I had the feeling of freedom. In August 47, I felt that we are free of British rule and we have become free. So to me, freedom meant responsibility for intellectual and practical, creative work, socially, culturally, politically, economically, taking responsibility.
but you were completely alone in this. There was no one else who was going to.
Well, there must have been a few others, but we were very few, not to be counted, not worth counting.
Wow.
We were a cry in the wilderness. And that is what we've handed over to your generation. And the last 70 years is a product of that mindset. So, your generation has to pick up where we left off. You have to create a new society and be responsible for designing it and implementing it. And society includes culture, political concepts and mechanics, and new economy, and new vision for the future. That work has not been done.
Amazing.
So Pakistan began. It was not born.
Very well said.
And that beginning was a continuation of the past.
Today, we have actually really understood. I mean, at least I have understood my true what I am.
Look at
We
your
are.
elders
Yeah, yeah,
critically and you will see.
yeah.
Look closely at your elders and you will be able to see.
No, and I'm actually,
And that will also define for you your job chart towards your progeny, your children and your grandchildren, towards your future, what you owe the future. We are yet to be a nation. We are yet to be born as a nation.
the defining of the job chart over here is that to build a new society, to build a new economic system, to build something, there's a logic to it. If a single person like Sir Syed can do what he did, I think it is time. Today we have learned enough, and we've experienced. I think one question is that I do have in mind that the emotional makeup of Sir Syed, or for that matter, Sir Syed, or for that matter,
Sir
any
Syed,
person driving the driving forces.
Yes.
There must be many people probably thinking somewhat on similar lines, but how he
Sir
manages
Syed
to
is no villain.
absolutely.
He is a passive creature of his time.
Ji, bilkul. But who gets to do so much, who gets to achieve in that sense, and his achievement and his ability to create the university or the at least this is what we're understanding.
When I said passive, I meant ideologically, intellectually.
Bilkul.
Practically, he was very active.
Bilkul. And so I think today we're the thing that kind of immediately मेरे लिए भी एक तंबी है, एक sort of एक quick warning है कि it's a very natural thing belonging to these times, to where we are, to intellectually immediately come up with a quick answer based on numbers, based on because this is the world today. The world is like that, okay, let's just, if I were to say I have to create a movement, then or create a change in society, it's very easy to misunderstand or presume that we have achieved something, which I think Sir Syed probably conveniently did, that he intellectually decided not to dig deeper as to what actually entails or what is the British the essence of what the Britain, or the power of the the way the British were, which was, I think, based on fucking in country. I mean, to me, that I've understood the driving and the way this country, the Britain took over the world, or the way they sort of created that entire world order, was based on that principle. And as we can see everywhere in the world, of course, there's another complex problems arising, but this concept, I think, which is missing in our country and has been missing from the get-go, that we have absolutely no concept whatsoever to have that society ki jo actually intellectual hamari inquiry has to what entails society, what does society mean, and how you become a part of society. I think we have no clarity on that. We've never had clarity on that, and that's our next stage.